Brimstone, very, very strong at that. If you're looking for agents to take into the battlefield, Giant Slayer actually has a series on YouTube, top 5 players, top 5 agents to bring into Valorant ranks. So go ahead and see how that works in your own games. Right now, Mixup trying to play their own game here, walking up the mid, as we said, but Hoppin, true to his namesake, jump shot, and Hughes goes down. It's a 5-on-4.
And not just that, we didn't get to talk about compositions. We've got a Jet and an Omen in play for Mixup. And so we were talking about how Brimstone is very popular, but he's not going to be seen here for them. It's just on the way to French side.
Omen is a sleeper pick. Omen's also on that list of agents, and less for the shameless plug and more for the fact that I think he's often overlooked. The ultimate, like, sure, that's one thing, but the ability to teleport is actually really, really smooth, and smart players can find the odd angles.
Yeah, that shadow step can be really good, but also just how you can fake people out and gain information with his ultimate as well. He had a 38% pick rate, 58 out of 154 picks during T1.
Sounds about right. Way too French, 2 players left versus Mixup's 2. Thief is going to be one of them, putting the Brimstone down. Hoppin's the other. And just like that, the defuse will be good. And the first pistol round goes to Mixup. A very different start to the game as opposed to last time.
I'm just wondering how this defense really holds down mid. Again, like I said, without having the raise, without having the raise basically to really supplement your mid defense. I feel like Way Too French have an opportunity to try and play for that. Sure, Mixup can try to play for some maybe one-way smokes to work with, but that doesn't really slow down the push that much. Players aren't afraid to push through smokes if they absolutely have to.
Not really at all. Yeah, the hollow, like you said, it's a little bit different. Everybody in their family coming up this angle, though. Stellar's waiting. 3 so far. And I do say so far. Falls behind. Heals the teammate instead of themselves at 3 HP. That's because Hoppin's a little bit closer. But Nano and Mill win the trade. As we said, the Sage is at 3 HP, but she's got a teammate. And it's 2 in the pocket for Mixup.
Tip your supports, ladies and gentlemen, right there. That's why 3 HP, and your thought is to heal the person that's playing up in heaven. Ultimately, it did work out for him, right? I believe he got one last trade before he went down, so that was of value. So I do like the way that they were playing that angle. Of course, Hoppin was the first one to peek, and he drew all the attention, and then Stellar was playing a further back corner there. And really just held it down. And so, despite the fact that, of course, they're not running that raise, they played that really well and played that towards the strengths of basically what they bring. Now Hoppin changing it up, and he's going to push up a little bit more aggressively. Spots out one, gets the headshot, and finally has to back away 4 HP.
Uh-oh. Slow orb going to be tossed out by Stellar. The spike's going to be picked up here by Woody French. And okay, an easy kill for Melio. Physic wasn't ready. That's as simple as that.
Yeah.
He got walked on. That happens.
That's where, like, sometimes, you're going to hear someone be like, oh, he's just running headshot me. It's like, you just didn't shoot him.
Yeah, no, yeah. It happens all the time. Like,
yeah.
You're sitting there holding the angle.
Who just white swings that?
Somehow it's their fault that they killed you. Like,
yeah, I'm not throwing any shade over towards our players. I'm just kind of commiserating in my own ladder play.
You hear it all the time. Oh, look at this! That was cute from Thief. Went all the way around, and Stellar. Yep.
Yeah, we were talking about it yesterday as well on this map here, Split, on how the Cypher player generally plays, and you saw the angles that that Way Too French were clearing out. Those were the typical Cypher angles, but now players are playing a little bit more around that pillar and playing smartly against whomever is making their way onto the site and really utilizing the multiple angles that the B site can offer you.
That goes there. Yes.
Way too French, 0 wins after 3. Don't forget, they started last one quite in the opposite direction. But they were also playing from the opposite direction. So, something to note. Last round, it came in full force here. It was an eco. This time around, we should see some weaponry on the side of the attackers, however. Sova Dart will almost do the damage. Good timely paranoia. That's just a smoke. Will stop that just a little bit. Oh, waiting for him in the ropes. 2 players get the kill on blue side. And it's a 3-on-4. B site is going to be the rotation here. 1 player still straggling behind. Straggling. Wall goes up to take out the backside. Now all of a sudden everything's clear, but from the backside comes through the wall. Here's Johnny. Thief comes through and finds another one. 4-0 for Mixup.
Yeah, they kind of just false sense of security, I would say, is what happened there. You got the wall off. You're like, okay, we don't have to cover CT anymore. But what happened? They just came barreling through. And did they even get the plant? They weren't even able to get the plant on that one. So take a look at the struggling money coming up from Way Too French. Full buy coming out, and none of them above 1K after that. Even though they are on max round loss bonus, it looks like they're going to try and go for an A execute at this point, which is something they haven't really fully committed into yet.
Not just yet. We'll see how it works this time around. Neil with a good look up the ramp, has info on at least 1 since the dart's destroyed. Smoke goes down. Physics going to move to a different location, a little closer. A Protoss watching the ramp. There's 2 players here. Sounds like they're making noise because the Proto is going to fall on back. Neil walking with his up. Probably questionable, but he's got 2 teammates with rifles. Well, he's got 1.
He got 2 there before he goes down. Here comes Hoppin now.
Nice satchel charge. And Hoppin's going to back off. Does have a teammate there. And so whoever comes to peek that will die. Whether or not they get a kill is a different story from up top. Sova takes down Sova. 3 up for Mixup and 2 for Way Too French. They have the spike as well. Trying to decide if it's A or B. Both? All right. Looks like players are going to commit to B. 17 seconds on the clock. They've got to run if they want any chance to get this. Immediate plant. 1 waiting up on the right side. Spike goes down. That's the end of the round, baby. Will the save come through?
Gonna try and chase after him, and he does take him down. That is huge. Way Too French needed something in this next round here. Is they've got the ultimates to work with, so even on an eco round, you know, there's a big chance for them. If they could have brought a rifle into that round, at the very least, would have heavily improved their chances. So we're going to see a force up coming out. Incredible is going to be picking up an SMG. He's got the light armor. We got Sheriff buys along with the heavy armor on 1 person. But again, 5 ultimates online. They need to get something here as they've lost 5 in a row.
What is that something, though? I mean, that's the question. Mid is going to be the play, and I think this is the answer, although Hoppin seems to be the one with all the answers. Incredible does come back and find 2, though. So all of a sudden, it's a real ball game. Way Too French, 3 players strong, walking towards... Well, they're walking towards a decision because the decision hasn't been made.
Yeah, they got mid control, but now, of course, they've lost everything over at B main. So you see Thief pushed all the way up towards their spawn now into mid. He's going to be able to spot them out here.
Uh-oh. Thief. 1, 2. That's all he gets. Uses low. Has the heal. Ain't no thing. All by herself, though. Gonna make the long, lonesome walk. Run, actually. A brisk pace. All the way to A. two players defending B site. Mixed Up at some point are going to be aware that they've been mixed up on.
It's definitely better for them to just run as two.
Yes.
Right? If they choose the wrong site, they just come for a 2v1 retake. So whatever, they get the bomb plant. So I think Mixup are still playing this well right now, and especially the fact that they've got a Sova and a Jet. The angles that they can create for the retake are just absolutely incredible.
Fake plant, just real plant. All right, there it is. Makes up with the big rotation. This would be Way Too French's first victory. And if they're able to pull this one off, the 1v2.
Expertly just dodging that recon drone, so they don't know exactly where he is yet.
Oh, yes, they do.
Yeah, they do.
On the bench. And Way Too French. Way Too dead. Number 6 here for Mixup. And they are just about halfway away from taking us to a game 3.
Now, I said at the top of this matchup that, you know, having that Sage, great for holding it off. The way that their Mixup are playing it, they aren't committing the walls, right, which we typically see over at mid by that Sage player. Instead, they're just utilizing the walls, or excuse me, the smoke from Hoppin on that Omen. And I've been playing very dynamically with it, making it very hard to predict which angles he's holding. So Way Too French have been slowed down on that mid push, and almost every single time Hoppin has been able to find a frag out of that smoke.
He was also one of the high performers last game, and this is, you know, split like we said is you generally pick and choose where you're going. So gun skill works out real well.
Oh.
We speak highly. The old caster's curse. Meal comes through and puts down Hoppin. Nice early kill there.
That was another one of those cases where he was playing that smoke a little bit differently, and you saw Way Too French were still watching their backs that entire time. Hoppin almost had that kill if Mill didn't get the amazing flick. But the second one now, and they're on to the B site.
Mill's been the go-to op player, and I gotta say, sometimes he misses these lined up shots, but the flicks have been impressive. It's kind of how I play, honestly. Sage gonna be caught there on the radar and taken down. That's a 3-piece for Thief, and the defuse comes on through. Lucky number 11 for Mixup.
And at this point, Way Too French finally got that mid control. And they tried to, of course, go for that execute onto B, but I kind of feel like at this point, with 6 rounds, 7 rounds, not going their way, they've kind of forgotten what to do after they got mid control.
We got it, boys.
Yeah. So we do have a force up coming out from them. Heavy armors along with sheriffs and that SMG for incredible.
And I like this call. I like this call, actually. I rarely like the force by Jamerson, but I like this call. I think this is a map that you can make use of these long-range weapons on, and or the sheriffs. And
right here.
Simply put, there's no other choice.
Yeah, and again, this is the respect now that they have to really garner over to Hoppin. So they're even sending the drone through the smokes to clear that out for them now. Virgo spotted out one showstopper just to try and get that kill. And I'll say that's value. They got Hoppin out of the way, but here's the res.
Ooh. That res hurts. Secondary kill, though, Nano.
Oh, the dieback.
Nice job. Thief is going to come through and Cypher ultimate everybody. He sees everybody coming out from the attic. A Proto. Trying to find the shots. Gets 2. Nano answers back, but Thief ultimately will put him down. A nice look from Way Too French. Again, they had the early part of that round, but not the mid and the late. Mixup like kind of failed in the first one. This is a lot different, though.
Yeah, I feel like this is where you just have to commit onto A now. Mid control is not working. You got to try and get something going over at the A site. You know, go for that A main, A ramp split, control heaven, and then go ahead and take it, because mid to B is not working at all. Is not working at all. The best that they've gotten is spike plants, you know, not even a single round quite yet. Take a look at how much time they have to commit just to clear out these angles. Now slow orb almost gets them that kill with the Sova ult.
The spike plants also have notably been with just 1 or 2 players alive, right? So that's been problematic as well. Incredible on the team coming on through here. Winds up at the top. Player widely misses. Physic just can't find it. A Proto absolutely can. An interesting non-look in that corner there from the Brimstone. 1, 2, 3. And a Proto falls to the player on the site. But a beautiful look there beforehand. Now all of a sudden it's a 2-on-2. Way Too French with their best look yet. I say that and the spike isn't even planted yet. It's on the ground.
Yeah, it's up in heaven. Not able to recover that. Thief hears that arrow going out, knows that's the best time to go for that peak. Melio will be able to recover the spike, and he's going to run it on over to the B site.
Is this the right call?
He definitely can't plan a day because he has to fight for the duels at that point. The only thing he can do is, run for B at this point.
Well, he's going to try. Smokes out his own ascent. Spike down. Players are here. Where are they coming from? Up? No, it's down. No, it was up. They came from heaven, and they sent them all the way down. Number 9 here for Mixup. The defenders win again, Jamerson.
Yeah, this is looking really bad for Way Too French. We have full money. We had full money on 2 players at the beginning of this round. We do have Physic, of course, committing into that operator, but currently, with the way that money's standing, they could just rifle by for the rest of this half, and they'll be able to contest Way Too French every single time. Again, it's that same situation. By the end of the round, they built up such a huge, or by the end of the half, they built up such a huge bank that Way Too French are just going to have to fight it out into a rifle round every single time.
Ooh. Hopping just barely avoids the elevator ride there. Now I'm going to hide here in the corner, knowing players are coming through. Trying to cause some dread on the enemy side. Jumps, takes a whole lot of damage, though, and Nato finds an angle. Hate that play. Here's a different style, though. A Proto shows up with a double kill. Yunes will cut that short by rezzing the teammate. Stellar dies immediately. 2 players on Mixup. Way Too French with 4 up. Now, this is one of the better looks that they have had. And again, I spoil them with Caster's Curse. Thief looks great.
Midio does find one more, though. And damage was done to Thief now, so he's at 11 HP, doesn't have a heal to work with in a 1v2. The thing is, though, Thief, he doesn't have to play for the round win. He's actually got the bomb down over by mid, so he's lurking now over at sewers.
Okay. They caught him.
Yeah.
Way Too French. Get on the board. It's a great look, Jamerson. Where do they go from here?
Well, definitely taking the next 2 rounds is what they want to work with. As, again, this is still just an uphill struggle. So I miscalculated the economy just a little bit, but Mixup should still be good, even if they lose this round, to have a competitive by going to the final one if they end up losing it here. Way Too French, though, still struggling just a little bit on that money front now, and they're playing it a little bit more default. They're steering away from that mid. They've got 2 right now. They've 2 right now over at the A site, getting that information. A ramp is kind of clear. They were spotted out themselves by that drone.
Sova. Oh, ult for ult. Meanwhile, mid is a bloodbath. Brought to you by Stellar. And after all that, Mixup 3 strong. Way Too French 2. Physic gonna come with the flank. And Meal catches Stellar on the outside. Planter will be successful. But that's that. Mixup find number 10 here. And although Way to French are on the board, one away from the half, this is worse than Mixup looked in game one.
Yeah, it was a 9-3 half for Way Too French. Now it's Mixup with a 10-1, possibly even 11-1. And so here comes the buys out of Way Too French. And because they took that last round before this one, right? Their loss round bonus just got absolutely reset. They got nothing to work with. They invest into an operator instead of trying to go 2 extra rifles. Very odd choice coming out from Way Too French.
On the B site as well. Operator here is real rough to make use of until you're defending the retake. 2 players from D still over at A site. And Way Too French have 2 players here in mid. The other 3 are all the way there. A Proto starts us off and gets 1 kill for their team. Information gathered. Hoppin drops low and drops 2-3 players. And that's that. First half done. Mixup 2 away from the game.
I didn't even see that first person go down to Hoppin because I'm pretty sure he killed the person behind who he was aiming for. I don't know. I couldn't tell. It just all happened so quickly. 1 clip and then Way Too French were dead. So at this point now, Mixup. Sure, there's like no way for Way Too French to get back into this one, right? Like Way Too French kind of, they gave us a little bit of moment of pause when Mixup were stringing together a few rounds once the half swapped last time around. But this is definitely one of those kind of situations where you see a few rounds going one way and you still don't worry. But again, Mixup, they shouldn't rest on their laurels. We have to remember this is a best of 3. We need to go to a map 3 because they already 1 map down now. 5 players committing on to the B site as they are straight on in. Melio catches out a Proto.
Nice job. Jet not quite as quick as they planned. Blue team in control here. Way Too French looking good so far. Mixup have 1 player up. Stellars here. 1 player in the back and 1 player on the left, which they're looking for. Yep, knew he was there, but Nano answers immediately. Well played there. Well-timed communication. And just like that, Way Too French find their 2nd round of the game. And I was going to say that the half is the great equalizer, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's the first to 13, and so you've got your back against the wall. But I mean, everything's even. Money's reset. Y'all got your guns. So,
Yeah, so we do have a light armor buy coming out from Stellar, but it's that frenzy. I want to see exactly what they try to do with it, and I agree with this play. It looks like they are going to try and push up heavily up through A ramp at this point. No, they're just falling back now. Wonder what signaled that for them.
Smoke? I mean, it's ultra standard. Maybe they wanted to smoke fall back and then come in again, but here's that secondary charge, and it's not working out too well. Number 3 here for Way Too French, and now they've got guns, baby. Are they going to keep their subs? 3K? Because, I mean, that's the conversation. You take your subs into round 3, but you can buy the rifles if you don't take a lot of damage with your armor.
So what I'm seeing right now is that Nano is the SMG player, and that's fine because Nano's playing that closer range. They're playing top mid. So they're okay to do that, especially because they're relying more really on their paint shells to do that initial damage, and they just need to chip away for the rest with that SMG. So this is fine for way too French. They're definitely not putting themselves at too much of a deficit in regards to firepower at that point.
Well, right now, Mixup gonna defend against that mid push into heaven one more time.
Oh, they did actually commit into the Phantom Buy for him. It looks like.
Yeah, so full rifles here. And, oh, hello. There
No. Oh my God. Okay.
You
I was about to say. No, I thought if like a proto, tailwinds into that one. But if he got her midair, just skeet shooting, that would have been nasty.
Well, it's Nano and 3 teammates versus a single Sova. Physic gonna walk to B. Make some noise. Location revealed. Cypher dies. Mixup still here. Gonna look for the plant. Recon bolt destroy. He knows there are players coming from the back side. And he's killed through the boxes. 11-4. Way too French. 4 in a row. Right? Diffuse. What's going on?
They're just trying to recover anything, I think.
Okay.
Running around, making sure they've got all the guns. There we go. The operator pickup. Because, you've only got the 5 seconds after the defuse to try and run to it. And so they save that extra money right there.
You know what I wish they would do in screens? Give me, real-time information, Maybe it's a safety issue to give me Delta flight numbers, but at least show me the right time,
When you travel a lot, that information is crucial, and I hate how you have to have 10 different apps. You need the United app, you need the Delta app, you need every single app.
Oh yeah, I know the feeling, dude. I just walk in with my passport these days. I just go, show me where to go. Just show me where to go, man. Use. Trying to show his team where to go. Hanging up there in heaven as per usual. Physic and the squad going to be rushing into the B site. The A players will make the rotation. Trade out here from heaven. And it's a 4-on-4. 2 coming around from the backside. 3 coming out from the entryway. And the retake is going to be... honestly, a good look here for Mixup, but way too French just seem to have the gun skills. A Proto goes down. Melio goes down. The answers a little bit. 2 players alive here from Mixup to play for the retake, but Meal looking real good. And way too French. Another one. 11-5.
Despite how that round went, they ended up, of course, getting that spike plant. But the very fact that they, were able to at least push up through B main, it goes to show you don't have to always have mid control. And I think way too French, kind of on their offensive end, put a little bit too much value there, invested way too much time there, manpower there. The difference is, of course, Mixup do have that jet, right? And she truly does play as that entry. Well, they are playing as that entry, just tailwinding in almost every single time and just getting into people's faces, trying to go for that shoulder peek. So really regretting it.
Nice shots. Incredible. One of the better just shooters, right? On the map tonight. Just so much gun control. Always on the right spot with his crosshairs. Just really impressed with the Brimstone player tonight.
Yeah, I might have spoken too soon where I said you see a few rounds being strung together by way too French and you don't worry. But right now, still though, Mixup. We talked about it. Split is just one of those maps where you end up kind of running your head against the wall time and again. Ooh, the Silva ult almost hits there. And he actually gets it onto Physic.
Oh, wow. From the trailer, I was looking at Hop in there. if I could be annoying about the defender there on B site, Sova shoots the arrow. The trade out comes from up top. And the immediate instinct to shoot it on behind him, he could have ran up and blocked the arrow's vision with the wall and would have been in a much better position. Might have won the trade. And then honestly might have won it all. Instead, it's Hoppin that gets it all done. And Mixup are 1 away from the game.
Finally securing that match point. Hoppin, you know, he was a major contributor in the last map, and he's still here holding it down. Of course, that disastrous start that they had, way too French. They were able to string together 4 more rounds, or it was a 10-2 or was it 11-1? It was 11-1, right?
It was 11-1.
11-1. Yes. Even though they were able to string together 4, how much damage was done to them? I didn't really look at the economy. So see if Way Too French can really fight back into this right now. This is what I wanted to see. This is what I wanted to see from Way Too French on their offense. To try and go for a full-on A push, which they really didn't try to do at all.
Right. I feel like, willing to be told wrong, I feel like this is the easier site to push than B. B is, I think, a little bit more noob friendly because it's, you know, up the walkway, walking up the walkway. But here, I mean, you've got a couple of angles to make use of. A Proto, though, got the knives out.
I know exactly.
Taking 2 down on Way Too French. All the information in the world. Nano has no idea. He's gonna waste it. Oh well.
Last round. It's a 2v5. Yep. You gotta kind of just go for that Hail Mary play, but a Proto, I appreciate how aggressive he's been playing on this offensive side, and I think, you know, try to go a little bit more for that solo queue mentality, that pub star mentality with it, eventually would pay off. You just need to pay off twice. That's all they needed, right? With an 11-1 half. And so getting super aggressive, going in with the ultimate, with the knives there, paid off for them, gets the 2 entry frags for them, and they're able to close it out with that. And with that victory, again, another one-sided one, we are going to a map number 3.
Hell yeah, brother. Talking about that, though, you got to play the way a Proto did if you select a Jet. I think when we talk a lot about how similar some of these characters are,